Hello, I'm Professor George Faulk. I'm a professor of political science and interdisciplinary studies, retired, at St. Andrew's Presbyterian College in Laurinburg, North Carolina. As chairman of the Senior Interdisciplinary Studies program, I have a very special story to tell you. What interdisciplinary means is that all the students are together in one large seminar, but they have 7 different teachers, each from a different discipline. Psychology, economics, chemistry, maybe mathematics or business administration, political science, anthropology, religion, theater. And the advantage of this is that students have a broad perspective rather than a narrow one. Now, when the faculty get together to do their preparation, it may look like, you've opened a can of mixed nuts. And it does have that kind of, feel for it there. But in front of the classroom, what students are hearing is not, you learn this, but here are different ways of looking at problems, and you make up your mind which makes the most sense. It's a very exciting way of learning. Now, part of interdisciplinary studies also is connected to how you approach that problem. And one of my favorite ways of doing that is through the perspective of Galileo. He's my favorite scientist. Why is he my favorite scientist? 2 reasons. One, the telescope was invented 3 or 4 years before he used it. And it was used for military purposes, to look out at sea, to see if the friend or foe was approaching in the harbor. What did Galileo do? He turned it up. Would you have thought to have done that? Man had a wild way of going about things. And let me show you. It's one of my favorite quotes, and I want to be accurate about it. Galileo, if you're going to find the truth, you have to employ fantasy. You have to play at invention and guess a little. Because when I'm looking for the truth, I always look for the opposite. Now that's a wonderful way to learn. Why do we have to learn this way? Because we're facing crises today. You guys are. In your life, your young lives, that are unimaginable. And if you stick to old-fashioned ways, narrowly focused through one prism, you're not going to solve them. You've got to broaden your perspective. You've got to look at things from different ways. You've got to play. You've got to invent. You've got to have fantasy. And that's why the book that I've written uses that technique so that you can have fun while learning about Damn the Warocracy, a plea to restore American democracy. This is one of the huge crises we face today. Economic crisis, military crisis, political crisis, social crisis. And if we look at these crises in an old-fashioned statistical textbook way, we can go on a real downer. Rather, this is an attempt to show you how the older generation, the senior-haired people, have so much to contribute to you as you assume the moral and political responsibilities of the future. So when you read this, you'll not only have fun, it's got a lot of satire and irony in it, you'll not only have fun, but you'll learn to say, wait a minute, this is another way we can address an old problem in new ways and take on new problems in different imaginative ways. Now, the book itself can be found at georgefaulk.com. I'm going to spell my last name, F as in Frank, O-U-K-E, georgefaulk.com. You'll find it available there, and have fun reading it.